10th standard ICSE English literature, story number 9, the pedestrian. The pedestrian means a person who walks. Now, this is a story set in the dystopian future, a future not so bright. It's set in 2053. Now, you may imagine that that world would be fascinating, full of technology, robots, artificial intelligence. Well, this story was written in 1951, and he tried to predict the future of 2053, 100 years. Many of the themes discussed in the story is relevant even today. We are headed towards a future, a dysfunctional society where everybody has become self-obsessed and self-contained. We are on social networks more and we are socializing less. So the protagonist is Leonard Mead. Now we are living in a world where everybody just goes to the job, does their work, comes back home, and they are glued to the television set. They don't move, they don't hang out. After 8 p.m., you won't find a single soul in the entire town on the roads. He's the only person who prefers to walk, and he has been doing it for 10 years now. So perhaps he started in 2043. He does not have a TV at home. He's quasi-unemployed. He was a writer, but he's not getting any projects anymore because people have stopped reading magazines and newspapers. They are getting their daily dose of information and entertainment from the television. And the writer could not have predicted the invention of smartphones at that time, but even our world is headed towards that scenario in which we are glued not to the TV but to the mobile phones. And in the 10 years of his walking, he has not met a single person. He would leave home at 8 o'clock and sometimes come back home as late as midnight or beyond it. He did not have a wife as well, so he was feeling very lonely. Everybody was busy in their life. While walking through the streets, he would look at the windows of the houses. The curtains were drawn, so he could not see anybody. He craved for human interaction. He did not even have an office to go to. Most people would go to their office in their cars, which rushed during the days like beetles, scarab beetles, and they would come back and they would watch TV series for all their entertainment. There would be no lights on in their rooms, only the TV light would fall on them. Walking was considered a thing of the past, a regressive habit, an orthodox tradition. So regressive that a police car approached him and the police was suspicious of his motives behind walking. The mere act of walking was considered to be a precursor to some crime, needing mental correction. In the end, he was jailed in the police car and carried to the mental asylum for a rehab. So this story tells us the dangers of tech addiction and social isolation. It's a wake-up call for all of us to stop being a couch potato and go out there, interact with humans, play sports, jog, or swim. Because when he tried to interact with people, he would literally be speaking to the buildings, getting no response in return. In fact, when people would see him through the window, they were a little worried. They found it quite eerie and scary seeing a lonely man walking at night on the streets. Even the dogs would bark at him. The incident happened on one November evening at around 8 p.m. He started his usual walk. Earlier, he used to have hard shoes, but seeing that the noise was attracting dogs and worrying the people living in the houses, he started wearing sneakers which were soft. He just wanted to explore the world, interact with nature, observe the leaves which had fallen in the autumn, look at the snow, the sky, the flowers, the grass. People who are addicted to technology, they get cut off from nature, which is unhealthy. He wanted to know what people are watching in the TV. What TV series are they watching? Some comedian, about some US Army. So after having walked a lot on his return journey, just before he was about to reach home, a police car arrived, and this was a lone police car. The previous year, there were 3 police cars, but after elections, it was decided that crime was at the minimum, so there was no need for 3 police cars, and now they had only 1 police car. The light from the police car formed a white core which startled him, but like a moth is attracted towards light, even he was curious. And then a metallic voice came, inquiring who is he, where is he going. Now, when he replied that he was just walking just to get some air, the police was bewildered. They asked, don't you have air at your home? Do you have a television? Do you have a wife? He said that, no, I do not have. No, I live alone. And I don't have a TV. And I have been walking for the last 10 years. Nothing suspicious here. But he did not have an alibi, a witness who could confirm that he has been walking for the last 10 years. So the police took him into custody. He was asked to get into the back seat, and And when he approached the car, he saw that there was no driver. It was a driverless car. Maybe some artificial intelligence was managing everything. There was no human. Now that was a good prediction by the writer, because now we do have driverless cars. So imagine there was not a single policeman in a town with a population of 3 million. Because everybody is happy, lost in their own worlds, watching their TV. That's all they want. There was no need for committing any crime. And then he was being taken to the Psychiatric Center for Research on Regressive Tendencies, a mental asylum. And on his way, he saw all the tomb-like buildings. The whole place was like a graveyard because it was so deserted, as if it was a literal desert, an Arizona desert. All the building lights were switched off. It was cold. But he saw his house on the way. It was well lit. It looked warm. And in the back seat, the environment was very different from out in nature. He could smell the steel and the antiseptics. It was too artificial and clean. Now what happens in the mental asylum is anybody's guess. If you have an idea about how to complete the story further, message in the comments. Hi students, this is AJ sir. If you found this video useful, press the like button. Also, if you'd like to enroll for my test series or online lectures, email me or message me on Instagram. Check my description for more information.